You're listening to The Ride to Work with Pastor Fred. Fuel for your faith before you clock in. Enjoy the ride.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for the ride to work this morning. I am Pastor Fred, the man behind the wheel and the words, and we are so happy that you've decided to ride with us this morning. Listen, as we go through this journey of life on our way to work, whether you're in the car, whether you work from home, whether your office may be your truck cab or your Uber car or Lyft, whatever you may be doing, taxi driving, however it is, we just thank you so much for joining us this morning. We just want to give you some information and some inspiration before you start your day, because life really is just about episodes, and this episode is just one in the many that we want to give to you as you start your workday. Listen, we want to talk about this morning merging lanes, and we just want to just bring out or highlight the fact of how we have to learn to move in harmony with others. Merging lanes. Look, the scripture Romans 12:18 says this: if it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Please get that in your spirit. Listen, we just thank you again for joining us. One of the hardest things to do, and I know you can attest to this, in traffic, is to merge. That's one of the hardest things to do. You know why? Because everybody wants their lane. Everybody wants their pace. They all want their right of way. And I'm sure saying that sounds familiar, right? Because some of us, of those everyone's, is some of us, or is us. We want our way. We want our lane. This is our lane. We've decided, that we own this lane at this time while we're driving on it. And we're not going to let anybody get in front of us. No, you're not going to do it. And some of us are so competitive in that way. It's funny sometimes when you're in traffic and you see the types of gameplay that goes on. Very dangerous games that I might add. But I know that sounds familiar. Listen, you have to learn to live at peace with everyone. We're talking about merging lanes, but now we're just going to talk about merging lives, merging as far as relationships, because you understand relationships require rhythm, not rivalry. There are a lot of us that have experienced relationships where it seems like we were each other's rivals instead of, trying to learn and flow in a nice rhythm. We were competitive, trying to outlove one another, outdo one another, to show that we care more than the other person cares for us. And we've experienced all types of things, so much so to where we even say it sometimes. We even, we don't directly say it, but we make little instances. We say little phrases to try and make the person think, or the other person think, that, their care level is a lot higher or a lot deeper than your care level, or their care level. So we get to the point to where we become rivals. And what happens is, and I want you to hear me when I say this, sometimes God slows you down. Yes, he does. And he slows you down not to punish you, but he slows you down to prepare space for someone else's purpose. I want you to get that, because I know there are a lot of people that need that leeway, that need that avenue or that access. And there are some people that have the ability and the capability to give that person that access. When you're driving in your car and you see that person, they're putting the turn signal on, but you've made up in your mind, I'm not going to let anybody else by. I've already been nice enough. People have gotten in front of me, but you see that turn signal on. They're doing things the right way. They're asking for access. They're asking to merge, to go where you're going, to at least go in the direction where you're going. And that's something that you ought to be proud of, that somebody wants to go in the direction where you're going. Now, we're talking about in life right now. And you got to understand that's very important, because, see, a lot of us try to avoid. We don't look their way. We act like we don't see them. And you can't do that, because there are some people that really need to get in your lane. And I understand when I'm saying in your lane, your life lane. They've watched you from afar. They've admired you from afar. And all they want to do is to go in the direction where you're going. Now, their journey is their journey, just like your journey is your journey. But we all can go in the same direction, reaching higher, trying to go further in life, making life more meaningful and purposeful for us. And sometimes you have to give some people the opportunity to merge with you. And I know that may be difficult. Now, listen, I need you to understand. I'm not saying you allow everybody in, because everybody's not worth your space and your time. There are some attachments that you don't need to allow. But when you see people doing things the right way, just like I said, they put their turn signal on. They're not trying to force their way into your lane like we see on the interstate sometime, but they're actually asking permission. Can I join you? Can I join you in this journey? I'm not asking you to carry me. I'm just asking for the opportunity to get in the same lane and go the same direction that you're going, because I see you're going places. I see you're going somewhere. There's intent and there's purpose in your movement. So you've got to understand, look, peace ain't about avoiding people. That's not peace. Peace is adjusting to them without losing you, without losing yourself. That's what peace is, learning to adjust to them. That's what relationship rhythm is all about. That's why it requires rhythm to move in sync. Let's be real here. Let me just say this. I just want to just real talk for a moment. And I want to say this to you. And I know I'm talking to somebody. And if it hits you, just say ouch. But watch this. If every merge feels like a battle, you know, when you're on the highway and you're fighting to keep somebody out of your lane, if every merge feels like a battle, maybe it's time to check your pride signal. Maybe it's time, because see, sometimes it's not just anybody. Sometimes it's people that are close to you. They admire you. Sometimes it could be coworkers. It could be family members. It could be even your children. And they just see where you're going. They see the fights and the struggles that you've had to get to where you're going. And they understand, I might have to deal with some of those same fights, or they may have come through some of those same battles. But now they just want to get in line with you. And if every merge feels like a battle to you, I think it's time for you to check your pride level. Yeah, because something's wrong. Something's wrong. Humility doesn't mean weakness. That's not what it means. It means wisdom. You got wisdom enough to know that somebody saw something enough to want to go in the same direction where you're going in. Let them in. Think about it. Watch this, because when you're sitting in traffic and you're going the same direction, but it's more of a strain on you to try to fight to keep them out. Instead of just saying, you know what? Come on in. Come on in my lane, because I'm going in the right direction. So I just want you to understand that this morning as you on your way to work, and you might get stuck in some traffic, or you might get stuck in this situation where you in your lane and you got your gospel music on, or whatever music you do to get you pumped and ready for your morning, and somebody puts that signal on to try to merge or get in front of you. Sometimes it's nice to just do that. Let them in. Bible tells us what? First shall be last, and the last shall be what? First. So sometimes it's good to allow that relationship. It's good to allow that merge to happen. So I want you to declare this with me today. Today I merge with patience. Because that's one thing you got to think about, because you might need someone to let you in. So say, today I merge with patience. I move in grace. And I will not let ego cause an accident in my purpose. I like that. Listen, if you can remember that, say that. Go back over this if you forgot it. Go back over it, rewind, however you need to do. But I need you to say that and get that in your spirit as you go throughout your day. And again, I thank you so much for joining us here for a ride to work, as we're here each weekday morning, just trying to get you started before you hit the clock. So until next time, stay purposeful, stay joyful, and remember always, stay in your lane. God bless, God keep you. We'll see you next time.